Monts, I am waiting for you, bruv. Monts, I'm waiting for you. See, Romz, Tom, show your shirt. Hello, Madrid. You never walk alone. Obviously, big up everyone that's actually here live right now. Obviously, smash the likes if you haven't done so yet. I'm only seeing one at the moment. Liverpool are out to the Giants called Real Madrid. It wasn't even a bad game. It was 1-0. It could have been more. Could have been goals on both ends. It looked like another 5-2. But obviously, I'm joined by Tom, Romz, and also Mo. And I'm pretty sure that man, like, you know, the big man himself in Monts has got something to say, man. But what you guys say? How are we feeling? Come on. Where's the spirits at?
I'm in the Champions League quarterfinals, mate. Oh, as you can clearly see, I'm a Greece born and bred. I'm happy.
He did not just say that.
What do you want me to say? My manager's crap. His substitutions. I genuinely think there's 9-year-olds with better in-game management on Ultimate Team. They probably make better subs than my manager does. How are you sitting there needing 3 goals away at the Bernabeu and going, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take off my second top goal scorer this year. I'm going to take off the only person who carried somewhat of a threat in the first half.
You know what, Tom? No, for me, it's on the players as well, because if we were more clinical, could have, but we could have been 1 or 2 up if we were more clinical. For me, our talisman, our man on 350k snuffed 2 key passes, two key passes that could have put us in better stead. But for me, it was us being the lack of cutting edge, the lack of being clinical. That was it for me. Yeah, you could blame Klopp. But Tom, it's getting tiring now. I'm fed up of blaming Klopp for sub. We know he's going to make 4 subs. For me, the players have to give more. They had to. But yeah, I thought we would have.
I can't get on the players, though. I know what these players can do. I know what their level is. And
when were they going to give it a go? That's the question, Tom.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was watching until 70 minutes. When are you going to give it a go? When?
It just confused the life out of me.
Do we kick on now? I kept thinking
exactly.
They're a man you can go at today. 100%. Van Dijk, crap once again. Trent Alexander-Arnold, crap once again. Diogo Jota, crap once again. But when I'm also looking at these players, yes, we could have been 1 or 2 up if Núñez had scored or Gakpo had scored. But we also could have been 3 or 4 down if Alisson Becker wasn't the best goalkeeper in the world. Do you know how mad it is that we had to be bailed out that many times at 3-0 down? They had no reason to attack, and yet they were still dogging on us like that. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Do you
guys feel there are levels between the 2 teams today? Romz, do you feel there are levels between the 2 teams?
There's levels. Yeah, there's levels between us and Bournemouth. There's levels between us and Bournemouth at the minute.
No, because you know what is it's Madrid, but their players, because they're so technically astute, they can manage the game easy. What we would have is we'll have our spell, but you knew our spell couldn't be sustained. The minute our spell's gone, they just started popping it around. Cruz and Modric, they were out there for a field day today. They look so comfortable.
Their little flicks and tricks and passes to each other that just passed around our entire press.
He's taking a mic, and you can say Milner and Fabinho, yeah, they're not that industrious or whatever, but they still look so comfortable. And there was a goal in class, but I still think we could have done more. Like you just alluded to, man, I kept watching the game thinking, when are we actually going to kick on and give it a go? Because I knew we wouldn't progress, but I didn't think we would actually lose the 90-minute game. I didn't think Madrid would go for it that much, but I don't know what more to say. I don't know what to say more.
You can't say it's your season over.
It depends what you mean by over. I don't know what Tom thinks.
Yeah.
I think we're finishing outside the top 4, so you could say the season's done, yeah.
Oh, that narrative has changed only in what, 2 weeks? Romz.
Right, man. I've said it
because
you obviously you, bro. I'm loving this shit.
What do you mean, me? I've never said.
You a Monts, man. Nah, man. You man, you are getting giddy, man. You said you had a dream. You said what? You said, Romz. I had a dream. Yeah, we were gonna win 3-1 the first leg. What dream did you have this time round?
I didn't have a dream this time. My dream was that we just avoid defeat in 90 minutes, but we couldn't even do that.
Absolutely shocking. Where is Monts? I want Monts right now.
I think he's still alive.
Nah, bruv. Monts, get your ass in here right now.
I can't believe we actually expected James Milner to be able to run a two-man midfield against one of the best midfields in the world.
He was your best player first
That's
half.
what I was just about to say. He's actually one of our better players.
It's
That's the sad. That's
it's
the sad fact.
astonishing. Yes,
That's
it's
the sad fact.
Agendas must agenda, right, Tom?
That's the sad fact of the matter.
Can someone in the comments get this up? Can someone in the comments get this stat? I need to know Trent's pass completion because that's one of the worst games I've seen him in having a Liverpool shirt. I don't know if he even made more than 5-6 successful passes. It was actually
74%.
By the way, Mo, your mic's on, by the way.
Mine?
Again?
Yep, as always. No, Mo's. But yeah, man.
74%, 39 out of 53.
How do you, man, actually feel, though? Like, did you actually expect to go out on a bang, or?
No.
I expected us to not lose in that. Like I said to you, I didn't expect us to progress, but I expect us not to go and lose that game. I know it was only 1-0, but we
you did not expect to lose at the Bernabeu. Is that what you're saying to me?
Because I didn't feel Real Madrid have the tie was basically won for a second. I didn't feel Madrid would have a real go at the game. I thought they were kind of, I'm not going to say pragmatic, but I thought they would kind of sit back, let us come onto them. But they just controlled the game. They literally just controlled the game.
But you can't go to the Bernabeu thinking you're going to go there. They actually stuck it on you. Like, Alisson actually had a masterclass today. He could have. I don't know how Vinicius even missed that first shot, like at him, kind of like the one that was right in front of him, slightly.
Even Camavinga's long range. Do you know if that's certain keepers like a Kepa or whatnot? They're conceding that. But when you watched it in live in real time, I thought maybe he'd just hit the crossbar. And that's weird. Alisson even got fingertips onto that shot. So Tom's right. We could have easily been 3-4 down if it wasn't for Alisson. But I'm not saying I expect us to go there and win in 90 minutes. I just didn't think we would actually lose the actual game. Thought we'll show a bit more character and a bit more desire. But the players,
you're asking this team this season to show a bit of character and desire.
In a big game, because even though we were basically out, it still is a big game. The magnitude of the game is still big. It's two of the biggest clubs, but I thought they would show a bit more because our problems haven't been the big games really, but it was poor. The players just look like they're lacking in confidence, and they kind of given up within themselves.
Lacking in confidence. But what happened to that big 7-0 masterclass against Man United? You know, you should be back up for the big games, this, that, and the other.
I can't believe you still held.
I don't get it.
This is where, Kaz, this makes it worse. The fact that Real Madrid and Bournemouth are able to dog us, and yet you hold 7.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, where do you go from here then? Because I just don't understand. Like,
where
you're
do
saying
we go
it's for
from
manager.
here? Europa League, that's where we go. We go Europa League next year. We give Henderson a new contract. We get Mason Mount as the big money signing, and people defend Klopp vehemently because that man can do no wrong.
Did you just say that?
Yeah.
You don't believe in your club whatsoever, do you?
No. What reason do I have to believe in them? What reason? What have they given me this year to make me go, you know what? I'm seeing something.
I don't know, man. I feel like maybe you're giving I think you lot are just being unrealistic about your clubs. Just that little touch, just like you can't think to go to the Bernabeu and go get a win. They've done clawbacks. Don't matter what situations it is. 1-0 up, 2-0 up, 3-0 up. Let's face it, you were never really in the game. I think Nunes had one great shot. I think it was anyways against Courtois, which was palm. But other than that, man, it's just like I can't see much. It's like, what do you expect? It's no point being sad. You already knew the reality of it, whatever it may have been, the consequence of being out. You're always going out, man.
Do you understand how peak his subs were? Because I'm going to keep talking about the subs because they made 0 sense. Harvey Elliott only came on because he's got a record to keep going. He offered no threat. He offered no change of dynamic. All he done was give the ball away. Roberto Firmino came on, and all he done was take someone who was getting in the box out the box. So whenever we were attacking, we had no one in the box. He also brought on Oxlade-Chamberlain for some reason. We were giving out charity minutes to Oxlade-Chamberlain. We were trying to market him off to his next club. So he can sit there, you know, when he has to do these interviews at his next club, he can go, oh, yeah, I played the Bernabeu last year. I was boss me. And
that's what it was.
He brought on Tsimikas for a minute. He brought on Kostas Tsimikas for a minute. In that 1 minute, he got booked for an elbow and nearly gave away a penalty.
Listen, Tom. I think he doesn't care. I don't know why you guys thought that he cared. He's thinking about the league. He's thinking he doesn't have a game next week, but he doesn't want anybody to get injured.
We haven't got a game.
I know that's what I said. He doesn't care. He wants to play.
We haven't got a game till April 1st. April 1st. I understand if we had a game maybe midweek or maybe even Saturday. Something like that. We had a game coming up, but we
He
don't
doesn't
play
care,
until
Tom. He
next
doesn't
month.
care. I think he's out of ideas. I think he doesn't care. He's out of ideas. It's very obvious that he's out of ideas. That Man United win was the players. It was just maybe 7 goals out of 8 chances you created. It's not going to happen again. We saw that the next game in Bournemouth. In this Real Madrid game, you were inferior from the first minute to the last minute. You played in this 180 minutes. You actually played good for 15 minutes in the first game. He's out of ideas. He is trying to play Nunes on Carvajal. It didn't work. Yes, he got him behind a couple of times. It didn't work for real. He didn't create clear-cut chances.
Carvajal was probably the worst player today because he kept making a couple of mistakes.
Which is Darwin. That shows you that what the levels. The Militao looked like a world beater out there. I thought Liverpool were like, you guys were 3-0 down. At least try to get a goal the first half. You weren't even trying. He gave the game. He didn't care.
He didn't care against Bournemouth. You're preaching to the choir. I've been saying this for months, and everyone has come at me. People defend Jurgen Klopp like he is God reincarnate in a manager. He can do no wrong. He's the perfect thing. This man is done for at this football club. He's done for at this football club.
But Tom,
because
boy, it is where
his head's gone.
Where we suffered for so long and didn't get anything because he brought us back to, let's say, the pinnacle is that he can do no wrong. We can't criticize him now. But I don't understand our fan base mentality because once you've had that sniff of success, don't you want more? Don't you want it sustained? But the fact
it's pathetic. We sit there in pride about being this big club. We sit there and celebrate, the biggest club in England, winning all these Champions Leagues and Premier League, and then you go ask them like, yeah, I'm happy with one. I'm happy with one of each. I'd give him a lifetime contract for one of each.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, if Thomas Tuchel came in with this team, we would match the major honours in just 3 years. 100%. 100%.
I'm just gonna see what a couple of the guys are saying in the comments. Truden has got a cherry coke saying Klopp out. See, I don't know if does anyone who do you support again?
Trudon's Liverpool. He was. I don't know about now, but Trudon's Liverpool. He's Liverpool. Big up Trudon.
Yeah. Big up Kuno as well. He's saying Klopp said book the hotel. What hotel?
I hope he's got a fucking refund on it.
Dennis the Great says hold that Romz. Obviously, he's a Real Madrid fan himself.
Yes, Dennis. A la Madrid.
Mark says Vinny was literally walking around Trent so easy. Yeah, Vinny had an easy day, I'll be honest. Napoli are on smoke. I've been saying about them, man. They're actually so good. They actually are really, really good at the moment. Jamino says smash the likes up if you haven't, people. So if you haven't smashed the like, make sure you do so. Go show some love. Paul Tin, he's here saying Klopp in Istanbul. Nah, man, he's gonna hold that one for history, innit? But yeah, man. And then someone says at Tom, are you Klopp out? Who would you replace him with?
I know
Tuchel or Amorim.
I knew it.
You say Tuchel?
Mm-hmm.
But you want the league? Do you want the league at all? Like, no?
Thomas Tuchel can win the league.
Huh?
Tom, I can't lie. I want a different culture. I don't want another German manager. I just want something different, a different voice, different accent.
Ruben Amorim just got a very unlucky draw against Arsenal because it took a massive deflection midweek. Won back to back Portuguese Cups. Won Sporting the first title in 19 years.
Tom, the reason why I think that's realistic because then you're going to get fans saying, "No, but if Klopp goes, we need to bring in a proven winner and that." But with under the constraints of FSG, no one's going to want to come. Enrique Zidane, they'll want a war chest. We're not going to. FSG won't provide them that. So I think Amorim and stuff, they are realistic. They actually are, and you'll get fan base that complain. You get people in our fan base that will complain, etc. But a proven winner will not come to Liverpool right now. They just won't.
What's the attraction to coming to Liverpool? Oversee a rebuild. Winners don't want to rebuild. Winners want to come in and win. Why do they want to sit there and have to deal with getting Henderson and Milner and Ox and Keita and Matip and Gomez and all these bums out the squad? Why are they going to deal with that? It's a joke, man. That's all.
So you are stuck with Jurgen Klopp. That's exactly what I'm hearing.
Yes, he's staying here next year regardless. He's going to sign Mason Mount. He's going to sign Mateus Nunes. We're going to end up finishing 4th. People will wank off over it because we finished 5th this year. So it's an improvement. Klopp's back.
You know, Tom, you know what I said? You know what I said?
Nah.
Well, next season, the league, all the other teams around us are going to get harder. So maybe being in Europa is good, so we can automatically qualify for the first seed. That's what I've
I
heard.
can't be. Biggest club in England, and we're celebrating Europa League.
So what
Can't
we
be bothered.
saying?
In a
I'll
bit.
be a
Man,
nice.
Man City might win the Champions League. No, you know what might even make it worse? Let's say Chelsea win the Champions League, Man City win the league, Man United win the Europa League. That might be your way through back to Champions League, no? Or not? It don't work like that, does it?
You think you're smart?
No, no.
If
you
Man
don't
City,
get-
if
you
Man
didn't
City,
get
Man
an
City were to
extra.
win the Champions League, does that mean fifth place will get Champions League?
No,
spot?
I think it still stays within the 4 teams.
I
don't
swear
think
it
they'll-
doesn't. The extra team, no?
It doesn't. You only get the
No.
extra team if they win Europa League or something, or
Yeah.
they finish outside of the top 4 and they win the Champions League. They said they don't add an extra team.
So I think
Mhm.
17, 18 was every club apart from I think Tottenham, Spurs, United, Liverpool, and City. I can't remember why it was 5 teams again, but I can't remember why it was 5 teams that year. But I remember there were that season.
We can check it, but I think this is still going to make top 4. Spurs are going to fall apart. You have one game
do
a
you
week now.
genuinely think that?
Yeah, 100%.
Because cool.
Genuinely.
Last time I was on, which a couple of days ago, it was even saying to Kaz. The thing is, I don't have. You might be shocked with what I'm about to say, because I've not spoken to you in a while. But our next 3 games against City, Chelsea, and Arsenal, I actually believe we don't lose any of them games. That we actually will turn up.
Well,
But listen. What will then happen, bro? I know you're laughing.
well,
What will then happen is we will lose to Leeds. We've got Leeds after them 3 games. We'll lose about 2-0 at Ellen Road. And that's why I'm saying I don't think we'll get 4th, because Spurs are already 6 points ahead. I know we got a game in hand, but it is against Chelsea, I believe. They're 6 points ahead, and we're both going to be inconsistent. So if we're both inconsistent and they've already got a head start, therefore I think we'll just miss out. But I can't see us getting.
I don't. The problem is I don't think that Spurs are consistent enough. Romz, like you,
But we're not.
did.
But we're not as well.
Yeah, but you can win like at least 2-3 games in a row. They can't. They don't do that. The problem is you got like the 3 games back to back, and again, Spurs still have to play you or no? They do.
Yeah.
I think
They
still have to play.
after our 3 games, they've got Newcastle United and Liverpool in a row.
So,
Do you know who you got next?
I know who we got next.
Who you got next then?
City at 12:30 kickoff.
And then who have you got after that?
Chelsea away, then Arsenal at home.
Oh my god! And then who have you got?
And
And then who have you got after that? Then who have you got after that?
Leeds
Oh,
away.
Leeds. Ellen
You got,
Road.
you got Leeds at Ellen Road. Wow.
If you
Romz,
don't
what-
get at least 6 points, you're done. I think you need at least 6 points out of these 4 games.
games are coming thick
Yeah.
and fast, man. The last teams I want to be playing is relegation fodder. I'll be honest. I'm actually kind of thinking of that ever game, thinking, damn shit, they might give us a good game. They need the points. But with you, man, as long as you, man, and Tottenham keep failing, because even Tottenham's next 5 games, I don't mind. We're good, Romz, man. Look, that hairline, yeah, we're gonna be seeing little cowlicks soon. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get stressed, fam. That beard is gonna go erratic, fam. I love this shit. I love that you're out.
Of course,
But you know
do.
what? You got no trophies this season. It's a madness.
It
But
happens.
it was
You
always
went
gonna
6
happen.
without one. It happens.
But how?
It does-
Imagine Chelsea could still leave this season with a trophy. How does that make you feel?
Cool. There's possibly, but do you think not? Sorry, Mo didn't say.
Yes.
Do you genuinely believe that? Yeah, they got a chance. Of course, they got a chance.
I look at the teams. I look at the teams in the Champions League this year. I think it's anyone's game,
Fair.
except for Inter Milan. It's anyone's game. I think Inter Milan are shit. I'll be honest, they're shit. Like
And
they're not
that
too.
game
They're not
against
good. They're not good.
Porto.
Like, they're not shit. They're just not good enough. I don't think in it. But it's just because they don't have no Lukaku on form. They don't really have the. I don't know, that Porto game just made me think like, damn, like really.
It was
I
bad.
didn't watch
Huh?
the
It
90
was
minutes.
so
but
bad.
It just looked, yeah,
It was
it
bad.
just
It was
looked-
bad. Like
from
we
the
have
highlight-
Brozovic is out of form. Skriniar is injured. Like we're really like in a bad form. But it's gonna be Man City's year this year.
You reckon?
Yeah. And by
It's
the
gonna
way,
be
just for
mental,
people to
yeah.
know, it's not like he didn't give Real Madrid a bad game. You had 9 shots on target, according to stats, by the way. 9 shots, 5 on target, shared possession, shared passes, shared pass accuracy, just a lot more fouls committed. Only 1 yellow card within it all. But in terms of big chances and stuff, like you could have got put away. It's not all doom and gloom for you. Do you actually expect like to go from here, from in and out? Now you got 1 game to focus on. Klopp doesn't have to think about next things. All you got to do is focus on your best 11 and work on that for next season. Like for you in that, like what kind of 11 would you even gone for tonight that made you think, oh, you know what, we actually might have a chance in this if we play with this team?
For me, I'm not coming and criticize Klopp for the starting 11 because for me that is the only 11 we could play. Keita for me doesn't have good enough endurance. Ox, I think Ox is better as an impact sub. Curtis Jones hasn't regularly played, so there'll be no rhythm. The 11 Klopp actually went with, I would have went with. The only difference I would have made is tactically, he reverted back to that 4-4-3. We should have went for, in my opinion, for 4-2-4 because we kind of had nothing. We didn't have anything to lose. And I know there's similarities between the two, but I still think we should have went even more offensive. I feel like you saw Gakpo naturally come into that 3. And again, he just reverted back to tight. But like you just said, it's not completely doom and gloom. Of course, now we're going to try and make a top 4 charge, but this season, automatically from being 2 games away from clocking football to competing for 4th now, automatically this season now is a failure. But the only thing we can do now is go on a top 4 charge. But
the maddest thing is, imagine you got Anfield over the line. Like you just got the win there, like 2-1, 3-1 even. Imagine you got that over the line.
You know what, guys? Not even necessarily just over the line. Even if we had lost the game, but by a closer margin, by like a goal, even if they left with a 5-4. We obviously would have, I reckon, would have been more up for it. But I just felt tonight we were going through the motions. We'll have spells where we may have looked like scoring, and then Salah twice maybe did a pass that wasn't accurate enough, and then we'll kind of go back through the motions again. We'll just kind of go back into our comfort zone, and they controlled the game, man. They controlled the game.
You look like you're defeated, man. So can you kind of find it?
It's just tiring, bro. It's the same stuff.
Can you finally admit to me that 7-0 that you won was your final? That was your final. That was your trophy for the season, isn't it?
We got 12 cup finals to go. That was enough.
How can you even say that, man?
No, but obviously it's against our arch rivals. Of course, United fans are trying to bring it down again. We're gonna speak out, but right now we just need to go for that 4th. But I'm not gonna admit it was our cup final.
You see what Monts is doing right now that you're not there. Monts is hiding on Coppish away with the other Liverpool fans. He was meant to come on. I don't see him anywhere, man. I'm trying to call out Monts. I'll remember this one. He's hiding with the Liverpool fan base crying on Coppish TV. Yeah, do your thing, man, because I want to talk to Mo a little bit about the Champions League and in general with Liverpool.
You lot smash them lats and that. Smash them lats.
100%. So Mo, man, what see for you then with the whole thing with Klopp, right? Where did it go wrong for them tonight, do you reckon? Did you even think they had any sort of chance where they could have maybe nicked something? Should they play more on the break? Should they just play the counter-attacking system?
They had a chance. He had a chance, of course. He could have put 2 forwards. He played Gakpo behind what's his name, Jota. I thought Liverpool could have nicked a goal in that first half, and it's a mountain to climb, yeah, but it takes one step up. But the problem is, I think their players are misfiring. Did you watch like Salah missing passes, simple passes? Darwin Núñez not picking the right passes, not picking the right runs. I thought Liverpool had a chance. Real Madrid are not that strong. We watched them in the Champions League only. I just watched a couple of games with them in La Liga. They scrape wins. They are not great. They are not like the Man City level. They're not Bayern Munich level. They're not great. But Liverpool probably are terrible. Like terrible. Some of the players are not up to the level. Trent and Alexander-Arnold, I don't think this guy, he is good only in one system. Like today, defensively, he was all over the place. Even going forward, he was all over the place. He wasn't great. He was out of the game. Should have come out halftime. Put Milner there. Put somebody else forward. I think Jurgen Klopp just fucked it up, basically. I don't know what you think. You thought that Liverpool had a chance at all?
I didn't think so. Like the way I just look at Liverpool is just like, look, you just go there, maybe try get a W for yourselves and move on. Like, I don't think you're ever gonna go through 3-0 at the Bernabeu is unknown. The fact Benzema and Vinny missed so many clear-cut chances, it could have been 4-5-1, to be fair. They could have changed that narrative if Darwin Núñez decided to score, or Salah or someone like that. I don't think Liverpool fans can hold their head down in shame, if I'm being honest. This is what you got this season, man. It's a massive drop-off. And what else are you going to expect? You think you're going to do a 7-0 like Man City against Leipzig? No chance. It's never going to happen, man. Trent, I think he will come great again. There's no denying his ability. You know, like
I think sometimes you need a new manager.
You got to play to certain people's strengths in systems. Like look at Man United. They are dying for a proper system, a lot of these players, because a lot of them can't play properly. Do you get what I mean? Without one. Sancho is a system player. Anthony's a system player. There's only a few candidates. In Liverpool, unfortunately, every single one of them players, bar Van Dijk, bar maybe even, I don't know, mate. I think Salah's a system player, to be fair. There's not many I can really say that. Maybe Diaz, that doesn't need a system to thrive in.
Mane
I don't know
didn't
if you
need a
agree.
system to thrive in.
Yeah, Mane
didn't
didn't need a system.
Didn't need a system. Firmino doesn't need a system. Fabinho is the biggest example of like when the coach is out of ideas, he's done. He looked like a 50 years old today, bro. Like this guy is too slow. He's too slow, to be honest. I don't think he's up to the level of the Premier League anymore. He needs to go. Not even as a bench player, by the way. Toni Kroos was just walking next to him and he couldn't even stretch his leg. He did it once and then Toni Kroos dribbled him like 3-4 times. I think this Liverpool team, somehow something happened in this summer and they aged like 10 years in this summer. They looked like older.
So
done,
I don't know. So what about guys in the comments? Like honestly speaking, so do you reckon do you reckon it just means it's like one of those things, too many players are too old and some of them are just coming up to too many players are just finished. They're just not up to that standard of ability. Or do you reckon it's actually a thing between Klopp, the dressing room itself and the players and they're just holding on by a string?
I think it's Jurgen Klopp's fault. You listen, you can't tell me that a player, that all these players, their level went down significantly within one summer. Something happened. Jurgen Klopp, he got his tactics wrong or something. The likes of Darwin Núñez is the wrong signing for them. The injury of Diaz, the injury of Jota in the beginning of the season, Mane's departure, I think it affected the club massively as well. I think also the start without Konate in the beginning of the season.
You reckon if they kept Mane to stay up front, it'd be in a different situation and use
Absolutely,
that Núñez,
100%.
maybe still get Núñez to come in, but integrate him a little bit differently. Maybe I've used that money instead, what, that 80 million or whatever it was, to actually buy a couple centre mids. It's the same conversations. Every time Liverpool loses, exactly the same conversations pop up time and time after again. But if you use Liverpool's board, are you getting rid of Klopp? Like, would you have gotten rid of him ages ago? Would you?
100%.
Don't you think he deserves to go? Or you think that's just the way
he
football
deserves
is?
to go. He's done. He's done. He's out of ideas.
Hear what you just said. Does he deserve to go, or does he deserve at least another few more months through pre-season with a new crop of players to see if he can do what he done again?
I think the rebuild after 7 years is too hard. It's too much for him. I think they start fresh. Depends who's in the market. They get a Zidane or something. Zidane doesn't want to go to the Premier League. They get Luis Enrique. I think Luis Enrique. Okay, I think in this league, the only coach that actually can match Pep Guardiola is Luis Enrique, and he's on the market. Go get Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique will played with Spanish team that is one of the weakest Spanish teams I've seen. Played them fantastic football. Yes, they got beat by Morocco, but remember, they dominated Morocco the whole game. I think Luis Enrique can do wonders with some of these youngsters, the likes of Harvey Elliott, the likes of Konate can be good. Trent is definitely a Luis Enrique's player that doesn't need a lot of pace. He's ball position coach. I think Luis Enrique is the coach for them. If they want to stick with club, how many signings do you reckon they get this summer? Is Jude Bellingham?
Oh, they're gonna need a lot. See, they're looking towards Jude Bellingham, and I just don't think that's the answer for them unless they can get a couple guys. Like imagine they get a Bellingham, a Mount, and they need 3 midfielders. Look,
a Mount.
I'm not saying they need an overhaul. Yeah, but Mount in a Klopp system, kind of like, it kind of makes me think a little bit. Can they get somewhere? Like Mount is a system player, man. He's got nothing but great ability. But when you think of them players that Liverpool have had over the season, none of them have had crazy amounts of ability. Mount's a free signing, by the way. Is he free or is he going to be cheap or very cheap? I think
doesn't matter. But that's
so
not
he's
my
going to
point.
be he's going to be a very cheap signing for them. Bellingham might be their prize signing. All they need to do is get a DM that can rotate with Fabinho. That's all they really need to do, and then get going again. I think their front line is okay. There's nothing to it. Once they can push up the field, they can go further. And maybe they might need something fresh at centre back as well. I don't think there's anything needed drastically, but they need about 4
I don't think they need that. You don't need a centre back. They don't.
No.
But okay.
I'm thinking they're all okay, but when you think of the drop off from them, when you think of Joel Matip, I think his time is done as well. Yeah. Anyways, for me, I think he's a good backup though.
So they need a bench.
Joe Gomez needs something. Yeah, they need something. There's nothing coming off there. They're relying on 18-year-old, 19-year-old Harvey Elliott, Carvalho's, and a Vegetic at the moment, which I think they can build around. Especially they can build around. They just need a whole new midfield. I don't think there's nothing really wrong with their team individually. Trent is not a shit player. He is one of a kind right back. You just need to play to his strengths to thrive in. It's a bit. It's like in any player. Every player's got a weakness. So I'm not.
100%.
I can't sit here and say Trent is shit.
He's
no
not
good.
bad. He just needs the right
No,
system.
he's amazing. No, Trent for me, anyways, Trent is fucking an amazing football player. He is an amazing football player, and I've seen what him and Robbo can do. I think Robbo, it might be coming to the time where it's like, I think you're knackered, mate. I think it might be time to move you on. Maybe not next season, but it's not a major position. I think they need changing. I just think they need fresh bodies, fresh minds, and maybe just fresh ideas. But under Klopp, maybe he needs another number 2. Look what Fergie done over the years. He changed his number 2s all the time. Maybe he needs a second number 2. The players need new coaches. That's all I'm going to read.
Do you think Mason Mount is going to be the new Wijnaldum for them? The one that goes a box to
I
box.
think he can be, because let's face it, Wijnaldum is not. He doesn't excel in a lot of areas. He's just kind of good at everything. What is the difference?
Yeah.
He is basically a spicy Mason Mount. When you think about it, he's just a Dutch version.
Yeah, he's absolutely. He's not great in defending. He's not the fastest guy. He's not the biggest guy on the pitch, but he was the one you need in the midfield to win games. And
imagine you put Trent in this City system.
Oh yeah, he would be.
Oh fucking hell, man! You're telling me he's still shit? He's crap, right? Don't get me wrong. He's off form. He's majorly off form at the moment. He's not even the massive issue there. Vinny Jr. can cook anyone on this day. Any fullback's got to get a ball.
Let me ask you a question. If Bellingham doesn't go, is it done for Liverpool?
Who?
Is Bellingham? If Bellingham doesn't go to Liverpool, is it
Bellingham
done for
doesn't
Liverpool?
go to? No, man, because I think they can spend that money in different areas. But what they're getting in Bellingham is a potential captain, which you can't buy. You can't buy a captain. Like, it's just normal. Do you get what I mean? I still think Bellingham ends up going to City. I think it's better for his development, but maybe he's the future captain of Liverpool and whatever they can get going on there. They might have a Brexit midfield going on. Just do not get an English DM. Imagine they got Palhinha, Mount on a free or 20 million or something, and then Bellingham. That's a fucking amazing midfield already for what Klopp wants to do. Pressing high, very much great at closing spaces and getting up the pitch quickly for Nunes to break on and do his thing. Do they need something fresh maybe up front? I still don't believe in Gakpo for them.
They have no individual ability, Cass, up top. Firmino and Salah. Salah.
Firmino's gone.
No, come on.
They're going to have to replace him with somebody.
Yeah. So what I mean is that Firmino, Salah, and Mane, they all had individual abilities. They all had this flair in them. Salah lost it. Gakpo doesn't have it. He's speedy, big body. Darwin Núñez doesn't. That's the difference. They relied so much on Mane beating a man one-on-one. So much. And Salah always used to beat this man one-on-one. Salah today couldn't beat Nacho. No, come on. Give me a break. That's Nacho.
Yeah, will Bellingham want to be playing Champions League football next season, or do you reckon he can just give it up? It might be a Paul Pogba situation all over again. Does it not remind you of that a little bit?
Yeah, but I'm not sure. But
Camavinga to Old Trafford. I don't know about that one.
What?
That's gonna cost us an arm and a leg. He's just gone to there. I can't see it. Go give me. I want Palhinha as a backup to Casemiro.
Backup.
I want him as a backup to Casemiro. I think he's got years, still got a major lot of years on him as well. I think he'd be great. You want to shut up? Imagine you want to shut out a game. You got Palhinha and Casemiro. Okay, long day.
Can imagine that Palhinha and Casemiro
Good luck.
next to each other.
Good fucking luck. Put Fred, Palhinha, and Casemiro lockdown.
I like this. I like this comment from Eddie saying Liverpool are back to being media. Listen, when like English football in the mid 2000s and early 2010s, Liverpool were second, third in the league. They're fighting the Champions League, but they weren't this monster that was everywhere in the last 4 or 5 years. Do you reckon that the likes of Manchester United now with Eric Ten Hag, Chelsea now with all these signings, Arsenal now, and Man City, they take over, and Liverpool falls a little bit behind?
Look, I've been saying it consistently for people in the chat to realize as well. Football works in circles. Everyone has their time. There will be a point where Man City change Pep Guardiola and they drop off potentially, not to the greatest of levels, but they will have the domination period is pretty much for me is going to be over. I don't think nobody's. I think that every team right now is in some way, shape, or form of a transition. Even Arsenal currently, as much as I hate to say it, they're top of the league, but they got the best of their transition at the moment. They're still not the final product. Arsenal Football Club at the moment. They still got players to bring in. Liverpool Football Club they are in the heaviest transition out of every top 6 football team. Newcastle building slowly but surely. Can you believe their recruitment's going to get every player right? Next one, Man United. It's still going to take another season for Man United to really get something. I think they can still compete. They should be competing next season, in my opinion. And that's maybe me being a little bit biased. Chelsea, fucking no. Don't even give me. They do not deserve any excuse. They don't deserve no excuses. Their transition, they should be going full flutter next season. It should be a really lot. There should be a lot of competition. Like the next season should be a thing where there's no clear favorite, in my opinion.
Let me ask you,
Tottenham.
No, don't talk about them. So let me ask you the question: why City in a transition year adding one? They added one.
It's not that much of a transition for them.
They added one player, Cass. Just Haaland. Nobody else. Calvin Phillips is a bench player.
Look. The way
why they are second? Why they are playing like this? Is it because Pep Guardiola is levels?
Pep is definitely levels. And when I tell you, Man City next season are going to be fucking difficult again. They will go get a left back. They will go get a right back, probably. They will go get the centre mids they want, and they might get another wing. They will go get players. They are going to be extremely hard to beat, and it's just going to be like, fuck's sake, we got City next. That's what it's going to be again. Because right now, they got a City with Haaland firing in a team that you don't even know what the back four they're going to get. You don't know exactly what system they're going to play. But it's somehow they're still second in a question in Champions League and still fighting. So that's the worst part about it. That is exactly the worst part about it. That's what I'm saying. You can't ever understand. Pep Guardiola is severe.
It's levels. I think he's one of the best coaches I've ever seen, if not the best league coach I've seen in my life.
But then you get Klopp. Klopp needs to prove to the Liverpool fans that he can rebuild this club, and I don't think he's going to have long. I still think he'll stick out to the end of the season. They'll give him the pre-season. They'll give him the players that he probably wants. He needs to prove to himself that he can build, because you know what? If he don't, it's going to go down on his CV that he's a manager that will give you a great, maybe like 4 or 5 years, but don't trust him. It'd probably be best to change him if you can't give him what he wants.
Here is another question for you. Do you think any other coach could have done what Klopp did to this Liverpool team, reviving them from 2015 until now?
Oh, Klopp's done an amazing job. You can't deny it. Look, you got to think, before Klopp took over, they went from having Stuart Downings to your Andy Carrolls. They had what was it, Benteke's?
Oh my god,
Charlie Adams. You know, name me some more. What was their left back before that I couldn't say? I think it was shit. No, the left back, the other one, the guy from Sevilla, little one,
Moreno.
They had an awful team. Liverpool, for what he's had in terms of resources and everything, he's built them into an amazing team, and that was helped by obviously a team around him. It's just a shame, obviously not for me, but for them guys, that that they're going through this unexpectedly. But look, it's the same trajectory. Van Dijk looks like he's got the same trajectory as Hummels at the moment. One, they're looking like the greatest centre back in the world. People saying, fucking hell, what a player. And all of a sudden, they see themselves like 16th in the flipping league, 10th in the league. And it's just that decline, went to Bayern Munich, it really hit the heights. I could see Van Dijk, like, obviously last in there. He needs to buck his ideas up as well. But he has, to be fair to him, he did go through a mad injury. He did go through a mad injury.
You know, Van Dijk said, nobody predict or expect me to be the same guy before the injury. You cannot expect a player to come back the same player. It's impossible. It's basically
it is impossible. They still got good foundations to build off. When you think of Liverpool and what spine they've got, look, you've got young Cody Gakpo.
Alisson. Start with Alisson.
Honestly, I'd think about putting. Next season I would think about putting Salah up front with the options up front. That the cost of the money and everything. I would honestly think, you know what? I might actually put Salah up front. If I'm thinking of their spine, I think they got something they can definitely work with. Alisson, Konate, Van Dijk. They got Bajcetic. Then you got, for me, put Mo Salah in that spine. You just need to add one more key figure. Just change that Bajcetic to a proper DM. That spine is good. Everything else will come along with it. It's just like, can they find that guy? I think Palhinha will be that guy for them if they can get him. He's special. Go get Mateus Nunes. Go get Palhinha. You should have got them anyways. Now they're going to cost you more of an arm and leg. You just wasted 18 million on a Palhinha, 40 million or 35 on a Mateus Nunes. That would have actually been a sick team. Like, and then all you got to do is add your Bellingham too. Imagine that. That means you wouldn't even need to deal with Mason Mount. You got young Mateus Nunes, Palhinha, and you got Bellingham. That is a saucy midfield. You got creative legs, and you got an absolute killer destroyer in the midfield. Done. young Casemiro, you could say, in Pellegrini, even though he's 26, 27. Just a bit
Still
of a
young
different
for a
version.
defensive midfielder.
Yeah, exactly. He's got loads to go. Like,
yeah, he's got 4 or 5 years.
done. I just don't understand what goes on in their transfer room in the back. Do you get what I mean? Like, what goes on in the back room of Liverpool Football Club? It sounds like Manchester United all over again.
Yeah, I think this is the cycle where they need to catch up.
Don't get your number one.
Now.
We go get the target number 4. Liverpool don't get number 1. Don't get nobody. Even if
Why
second
are
or
people
third option.
saying? Yeah.
I don't know who
It's
said
just
Van Dijk's young. It didn't say he's young. Gavardio, look, Gavardio will still be a great shout for them.
I watched the highlights yesterday. He didn't like. Can anybody in the world run a sprint with Erling Haaland? Nobody. Man City can put 7 past a lot of people. It doesn't mean they're bad. Liverpool put 7 past Man United in a game. That doesn't mean Martinez is bad. That doesn't mean Varane is a bad player. People need to understand this. Because Man City put 7 past them, it doesn't mean that Gavardio is shit. He's still one of the best young center backs in the world. It's just a fact. People just want to play this narrative. I think his price isn't going to go down.
Wijnaldum got relegated with Newcastle, I believe. I think Robertson got relegated with Hull. Like, you know, they got battered, by the way. Hull City got fucking battered, by the way, horribly. Like, there's players that do. He's in a team full of bums, man. What can you do? So everyone has their off days. Man United, Veranda's got, and Martinez, World Cup winning pair, got smoked 7. But what is it to it, man? But then maybe he might reassess his price. Maybe he might just do that just a little bit. Might shave
I don't
off
think
5
they're going to
million.
assess this price. It's still going to be 100 million.
Nah, he's a good player, because if you told me anyone that wants to mock Gavardio, you're going to say, cool, would you have him for 80 million? Imagine they say no. I think there's some good alternatives. Antonio Silva, Gonzalo Inacio. I think there's some decent centre-backs out there. Young Nathan Collins from Wolves, I think is wicked as well. There's some decent centre-back prospects out there, man. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up there. Monster's gonna come by. He's acting bare late. I can't be asked. I got to go onto another stream. So yeah, guys, make sure on the way out that you're smashing the like button as well. Leave a comment if you don't mind. Just say your thoughts on the game, anything that you may see, and we'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, for Manchester United reaction as well, which I'm gonna be fucking shameless. So yeah, man. Until then, in a bit. See you then.